Hello Budgie Nation, are you abusing your budgie? That is today's topic, budgie abuse.
Parrots are the most common pet bird across the globe, and budgies hold the supreme place of all the species. As much as they are wanted, they are also ranking high in terms of the most discarded pet for the last few years. Statistically, 85% of them are either discarded or passed on to another household for supposedly being difficult to handle. With shifting households, they feel even more abused, and many of them suffer from multiple home syndrome. With all of this going on, with all these sensitive beings, all we could think about is how to find happiness by having a budgie as a loyal companion. Selfish human. How about making your little bird happy and finding happiness in his chirps and antiques? We all find things to keep my budgie happy. But for his real happiness, you must learn what not to do to your little budgie. Let's learn them all. When we're talking of abuse, some acts are so clearly abusive that not even the most inhumane human can deny them. They are a cruel act on the face of it. And the following acts happen to be the most common ways of not only budgies, but also any other kind of animal abuse. Physical assault. As clear from the name itself, this is the cruelest form of budgie abuse. Anyone physically beating his budgie with a stick or such hard object is being more than abusive to the little sensitive bird. Now, with all the compassionate people around us all the time, a very obvious thought comes to our minds that who can be so cruel to these impossibly cute little birds? Mental assault. This abuse relates to inflicting all mental pains onto this little bird, but without physical touch. It could be any form, say shouting at the little birdie, feeding him rudely, or behaving with aggression while being in the vicinity of the bird. This might put pressure on that little sensitive mind of the budgie, who is the embodiment of liveliness. And when it comes to this form of assault, any one of us could be doing this to our budgie, though not deliberately. A general perception of us all is we believe only what we see, and the only form of abuse visible to us is physical and mental, one due to its immediate physical symptoms, like feather plucking or depression. There are other ways in which this little bird might feel abused and ultimately feel that hurt of any other victim. It is better to stay informed than not. Tiny living space. Just imagine if you are forced to live in a small room where the most you can do is only stretch your body and flex your muscles. You aren't allowed to take a walk, and the most you can do is sit, stand, or simply lie down. You are given a very small area to play and eat, and at the end of your day, you go to bed, which is fitted in a small corner of that tiny room. How would you feel? Forget about having an outing. Isn't having ample space to live a basic right of all human beings? Keeping budgie in a space tinier than your microwave is a sin. They will surely succumb one day. Unclean environment. Imagine living in unclean surroundings, dampened with dust and dirt everywhere. A budgie being kept in a dirty and unclean cage is one of the biggest abuses ever. And let's not discuss all that poop stuck to the cage everywhere and not being wiped daily. It simply means budgie cohabitating with disease-causing bacteria and ultimately ending up sick after braving the abuse by that deadly bacteria or virus. Lack of attention. How would you feel when ignored by someone? More so, if that someone is your family member, would you be happy or depressed? Ignoring someone when you made him feel important in the first place is the biggest kind of abuse you can inflict on someone. holding a grudge. You may not be consciously abusing your little birdie sometimes, but that doesn't mean that none of your acts are abusive. Holding a grudge for someone subconsciously changes our behavior a bit, but its impact on the other person can sometimes be huge and even damaging. Especially when that other one is a little sensitive creature like a budgie. If he nipped you in the morning and you are pissed with him and behaving rudely with him, you are an abuser. Not taking care of his health. Your budgie is sitting silently in the corner of his cage for days, and all you are doing is carrying on with your routine. He's eating less and playing less, but you are least bothered. He seems distant and plucks his feathers, and you are simply waiting to let that phase pass. If your budgie is behaving in a manner he never did, he surely has a medical issue. He might be suffering even more from inside, and you may simply be making his condition worse by not taking him to the vet immediately. You are just inflicting a rather much more painful abuse onto the little bird. How to deal with a budgie who has an abusive past. Ignore the bad behavior. If you happen to bring a budgie who has already been abused, always ignore his bad behavior. Simultaneously, start addressing his issues one at a time by being soft on him. Keep your voice soft. An abused budgie is a scared budgie, especially of loud noises. Keep your voice and tone soft while interacting with the little bird. Keep your body language calm. Overpowering personality or aggressive body language would further scare away a budgie who is already terrified of humans. Lastly, patience is the key. Forming a bond with someone needs ample time on hand. And about how much, nobody knows that. It could take a week or a month, sometimes even a few years. You take each day as it comes. Be patient. There is always a ray of light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you all for watching. I hope your budgie is healthy and happy. Subscribe. Thank you. Okay.
Watch next. Previous video or how to give your budgie a bath. Visit our official webpage for more information and budgie care.